30, the Sokoto Caliphate ruled more land than any empire in sub-Saharan Africa. But here's the part history whispers. Some African nations were never conquered. From the Sahara to the forests of the south, the green banners of Usman Dan Fodio reshaped West Africa. Empires fell, kings fled, cities burned, but the net was never solely free, and each of these places survived for a different reason. Not all resistance used sword. Welcome. Watch to the end and then welcome to Echoes of Reborn Africa, where we rewrite the history of African empires and the people who made them. Please subscribe for me wasn't Reagan. For me wasn't Who was already a 1,000-year Islamic empire. Once another attack, this leader, Muhammad al-Kanemi, didn't just raise an army. He raised an argument. This war reached the pen before the sword. Through a famous series of letters, al-Kanemi asked, if Borno is Muslim, who are you reforming? He challenged the very basis of the jihad, arguing that Sokoto's war against another Islamic state was illegitimate. Sokoto's Caliphate, accusing Borno of self-killing unjustly, but al-Kanemi's arguments resonated. On the battlefield, neither side gained decisive advantage. The fighting bogged down into a brutal stalemate. By 1811, Sokoto could neither justify his win nor win. Reflect the military headquarters was complete, and the front lines flattened. Borno remained free until Remy remarked Sokoto, but not only state. Something didn't happen. They disappeared and came back on when the historic They retreated and regained their state in the new capital, Arc. From this fortress, they launched a relentless guerrilla war. Sokoto fought them for 90 years and never finished the job. They laid siege to Argangu time and again, but the Kebi warriors always held them off. As late as 1891, the struggle was still ongoing. It was the same story for the kingdom of Zat. When its capital, Zaria, was conquered, its king fled south with his court and followers. There, he founded a new capital, Abujitade, called Su. This new kingdom became a bastion of the old Zatsau traditions. Independent, traditional, defiant, they kept their kings, their rituals, and their freedom, a constant reminder of what had been lost. But the rulers of Gobir, the very state where the jihad began, were different. Gobir didn't just run. They relocated to the north and raided Sokoto endlessly. From their new base, they launched lightning-fast attacks into Caliphate territory, creating a zone of constant fear and instability. The Caliphate was never fully safe, not even in its own capital. These ghost kingdoms, born from defeat, ensured that the war never truly ended. Sometimes, the Caliphate's greatest strength became its weakness. The cavalry stopped here. Sokoto's most effective weapon was its army of horsemen, who could dominate the open plains of the Sahel, and the Jos Plateau made it useless. The peoples of the Platolak, the Berim, of Isa, and Anaguta lived among steep stone hills, narrow paths, and endless ambush points. You can't charge cavalry uphill. The terrain itself was their greatest defender, turning every Sokoto advance into a slow, costly, and often deadly affair. And then there were the Tiv, no king, no capital, no surrender. The Tiv people lived in a decentralized society a vast collection of independent family compounds and villages. There was no central authority to defeat, no single leader to force into submission. To conquer them, you had to conquer every single village one by one, an impossible task. Sokoto never did. Their expansion simply washed around the Tiverlands like water around a stone. But not all neighbors were enemies. Why fight your own students? To the south, in the inner Niger Delta, rose the Masina Empire. It was founded by Sekou Amadou, who was himself a student of Ousmane Don Fodio and a follower of his reformist ideas. They shared the same beliefs, but not borders. Masina was its own Islamic state, a sister jihad, not a Sabit. Instead of war, they chose diplomacy, establishing a relationship built on mutual respect and shared ideology. Ironically, Masina fell not to Sokoto, but to another reformer who came later, Ol Haju Martal. Sokoto changed West Africa forever, but it never erased its diversity. Africa was never one story. History isn't only written by conquerors. It's written by those who adapt, resist, and survive. The stories of Bornu, Argangu, the Plateau, and so many others show us that power has limits and the human spirit for freedom finds a way, whether with a pen, a sword, or the mountains themselves. Which of these unconquered nations surprised you most? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more hidden history.